Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to a very late night, so late night, it's early morning bonus stream. And the first stream of 2021. May it be a good year, although previous years did not set the the goal bar very high. We are here, we are going to play a little bit of Skyrim. You might have had a bit of echo there, it should be fixed now. As you know, we did have Skyrim going in the past. This is actually going to be a new, one second, get that a little bit more centered, hopefully. A new playthrough, just because I'm not quite feeling the old one at the moment. I don't think we're going to quite move, past the old one. Like, just gonna say that right up now. I do plan to go back to the old one. We're just not going to today. Is what it really boils down to. And I hope that's okay. Um, I was just feeling a much more different vibes. And I can see that between streams here, Mothet has subbed. Sneaky sneak. Well, shout out to Mothet. If she pops into stream, we'll have to shout her out next time we see her. She is a wonderful bean. All right. I just noticed that I opened it up. I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't send me the normal emails it does. Okay. It's fired. Why aren't you picking it up, Streamlabs? Streamlabs, why you be this way? Let's try this real quick. Is this better? There we go. That's something. Oh. Yeah, should be that. Now it's not going to open, of course. I'm like, let's just do a brief little stream. Oh, that's why. It's because it wasn't capturing the game. It decided to capture the little startup box. Do you hear that? You should be able to hear that sound. It's a good sign. Let's try this again. Maybe? Yes. We got it. Let's just get this the right size. Sorry, I was not quite entirely ready for streaming tonight. Just really wanted to, so here's where we ended up. Okay, it should be a good size. This shouldn't block anything. Let's shrink it down just a little bit. I know some of you like to be able to see me, but we don't need me to be that big. I should be a little better. I also am a bit of a mess today. If you notice that I'm not quite as clean-shaven as I normally am or anything like that. Because it's a late night. New Year's was yesterday. I didn't go anywhere. I think we're gonna do a new game. Let's actually do this real quick. I want to make sure we have so many of these. I do not know which one our old one was. We're going to launch into our old one real quick just to get a solid save of it, in case we do want to come back to it, because I do maybe plan to come back to this one or maybe continue with the other one. I just got to a point where I really wasn't feeling where this character was going, and I want to be able to play a game and be kind of passionate and enjoy the play style for you guys. So I do apologize. I know that some of you might get attached to a character and you don't want to see me stop playing with that character. This is not that character. Hello, did I not, like... That's interesting. We'll quit back to the main menu. I don't know what happened to that character. Because we did not join the Thieves Guild, I don't think. Maybe we did. Either way, we're just gonna start a new game. If I can track down the other character, which apparently something I didn't even think I had to do, but I might have tracked down the other character. We might go back to him. We might not. We'll launch into Skyrim again. New fresh start. This is probably going to be a little bit of a longer stream too. I'm planning to stream for at least 4 hours. Part of the reason why is my sleep deprivation tonight was brought to you by my rare occasional migraines. They don't happen a lot, but the only thing that helps with my migraines is caffeine. Okay, well, sometimes there's a lot of medicine I can't take, like aspirin and ibuprofen. I can't take those. But Tylenol and caffeine mixed together, which is kind of like what most Excedrin are, except Excedrin usually also has aspirin, which I can't take. So normally what I'll do is take a Tylenol, and I have to take some caffeine too. And the only caffeine I have tonight is Vivarin. And the migraine was bad enough, I ended up taking a full pill, full Vivarin, which is like the equivalent of a cup of coffee.
Hey, you.
So I'm wide awake.
You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush, same as us. And that thief over there.
Damn you Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine until you came along. Empire was nice and lazy. If they hadn't been looking for you, could have stolen that horse and been halfway to Hammerfell. You there, you and me, we shouldn't be here. It's these Stormcloaks.
Sorry for everyone that's watched this before.
We're all brothers and sisters in binds now, thief.
Shut up back there.
What's wrong with him, huh?
Watch your tongue. You're speaking to Ulfric Stormcloak, the true High King.
Ulfric? The Jarl of Windhelm?
I do have an idea for
You're
the
the
build
leader
of this
of the
character,
rebellion.
by the way, which I'll talk about in a
Captured
moment.
you. Oh gods, where are they taking us?
I don't know where we're going, but Sovngarde awaits.
No, this can't be happening. This isn't happening.
Hey, what village are you from, horse thief?
Why do you care?
A Nord's
Hello,
last
Moffat.
dots should be of home.
How are you doing tonight? I saw that you sneaked a sub in when I wasn't live, it looks like. I really appreciate it.
The headsman is waiting.
Good. Let's get this over with.
Oh, it's good to see you. You've joined me for a bonus late night Insomnia stream. And also when I look at my phone, I vanish. Just realized that. But hello! It's okay. I really, really appreciate it. I already thanked you earlier on in the stream when I noticed, but I just wanted to thank you in person. I'm glad that you popped up tonight. I really appreciate it.
I bet they had something to do with this.
We are playing a little bit of Skyrim tonight, not the Dark Souls you're used to. I think every stream you've caught. Oh, thank you for the hydrate right from the get-go. I do need a little bit of water. Anyway, we're just doing a little bit of Skyrim. I did a Skyrim playthrough in a little bit ago, and I was... Skyrim's still good. I love Skyrim. It's one of my favorite games of all time. This is in fact, if you combined Special Edition and normal, like the old school one, the game that I have sunk the most hours into of all time. Which is saying something, because it's like over 1,000 hours I think I've sunk into Skyrim total. I've probably sunk more hours into other games that aren't it though, like Minecraft, which I don't know how many hours I've sunk into that, or I used to play like constantly Lord of the Rings Online when I was in high school and junior high, so I know I've sunk uncountable hours into that. But yeah, I really love Skyrim. I had another playthrough that I was already doing on stream, but I have misplaced that character, apparently. I was planning on doing a new character already, but then I went and loaded my save files and it's a different character, so I don't know what's happened. It is an old game. It is a... Oh, when did it come out? I started playing it junior high, so at least 10 years ago is when I started playing it. I have fond memories of it. I can't necessarily recommend it nowadays. It is still around, it is still kicking. But it was more or less someone said, what if we made World of Warcraft but reskinned it to Lord of the Rings? And
Who
that's kind of
are
what it
you?
is. They play almost identical. Um, but yeah, it plays almost identical to that. It's a really fun game. It was the first MMO I really played into, and I just sunk hour after hour into it. It was right when it first went free to play, so I didn't have to have a monthly subscription. It had like that MMO addictive sense where there was always communities. I had a long-running kinship, which is what they called them in there, but like guild that I played regularly with. I was the tutorial guy. I was even an officer in that guild, and I would basically teach everyone how to play the game for the low-level runs at the time, and also how to play instruments in there because I had a really cool ABC file system where you could play music in the game, which was huge for me. And I loved all of that, but nowadays it's kind of a very small, it's a very, very small community. Not a lot of people play it actively anymore, which is okay. And it's gotten a lot of, it kind of stagnated content-wise. It doesn't have, I think like we've just barely gotten to Mordor recently in the game line, which says a lot in terms of how long this game has been going. They just finally got to Mordor, and there was a lot of great story and content in it, but it becomes very repetitive, and it didn't have the facelifts that games like WoW did. World of Warcraft got a lot of faces, a lot of quality of life things. They just did a massive level crunch that have kind of kept the game relevant, versus Lord of the Rings Online has just kind of gotten older without some much needed TLC. Granted, the newish studio that's taking it over might do some good. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It fell out from Turbine and Warner Brothers Entertainment to a new studio called Standing Stone, which are the old developers who loved the game and wanted to keep it going. And they've been doing a pretty okay job, so we'll see if it makes a comeback. I don't know if it will. And if Standing Stone ever watches this, hire me, please. I've applied there a couple times. Anyway, I know too much about Lord of the Rings. That was my obsession for junior high and high school. So much so that in the Quiz Up game in high school, which was, I think it was called Quiz Up, it was like a quiz game that was really popular my senior year of high school. I held number one in my county in Lord of the Rings trivia, which was just peak me being obsessed with Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's very fair. I have kind of mixed opinions of it now. I love Lord of the Rings, and I do think that for his time period, Tolkien was okay, but there are certain aspects about it that, in a modern light, I wish were better done. And I don't necessarily think they're more, they are problems of the era, not necessarily problems of Tolkien, in my opinion. And I say that with a grain of salt because I also know people use that to justify for his time period. He saw the moon landing. I'm referring to when the books were written, which was 1940s, 1950s, 1960s. So, that kind of era. He has a very Eurocentric view. And it's not hard-edged. He's no H.P. Lovecraft in this regard. But when you read his books, you gotta take it with a grain of salt because all of the bad humans happen to be from what would be Africa and the East. And it's not like it's it's the unintentional racism of the 40s and 50s from someone who wasn't aware that they were it. So I'm not going to justify what he wrote, and it's very, very subtle. It's not meant to be that way when he wrote it, you can tell. But he wrote it with the main characters all being from what is basically Europe, and the other characters being from what would account to like the Middle East and Asia, and it definitely wasn't intentional. And he has bad people who are European, but he just doesn't write enough about those other cultures to have any good redeeming qualities about how he wrote them. And it's something that I think really needs to be addressed by a lot of Tolkien fans, and they don't. They just kind of look past it. That being said, I think in the future we can have a little bit of play with that and make like the Amazon series that's coming out. You can have a lot more freedom with it. Was going to read The Hobbit on YouTube, but he couldn't because of copyright. Also, yes, the Tolkien estate are brutal when it comes to copyright claims. Which is ironic, because I don't know. I love the movies. I think the movies are pretty good. I don't like The Hobbit as much, but that's mostly because The Hobbit was... The Peter Jackson Hobbit movies were good movies, but they weren't necessarily... You got permission from the author. That's really cool. I'll have to look that up. Coraline that's a fun book. No. The Hobbit movies are okay too, but basically they're good movies. I don't actually like from a cinematography point, fine movies. They're like you can watch them, you can appreciate them. They're movies. There's nothing wrong with appreciating them. The problem is that The Hobbit isn't a book that's meant to be big Hollywood screen. Hello, Toxic. Welcome to the chat. Hello. I finally streamed when you're awake. It's gotta be super early morning for you. It's so late for me, it's morning. That's where we are. I did get affiliate. I've been affiliate for a bit now. I got affiliate end of November, I think it was. It's been a bit. I took a break from streaming because life got busy over the holidays. Just getting back into it. Yeah, 9:40 there. That's what I figured. Oh, I did quick math in my head, and I'm like, that's gotta be morning. Yeah, I was just talking about Tolkien and how the Hobbit movies were good movies, but they were kind of based off of a book that they couldn't have done justice to and had it be a good movie. The Hobbit books are written very much as 13 men having a wonderful walk through the forest. It's not captivating TV series. Like 2 episodes really early in the morning. No, yeah, you're okay. My stream schedule has been very chaotic, so I haven't been able to do any of the morning streams I normally do, which would kind of be when you'd be able to catch them more. This is technically not a morning stream for me. This is I couldn't sleep, and I'm just going to give up at this point stream. But, yeah. And you don't need to apologize for not catching my streams. I don't think I've been able to catch one of yours with life getting busy. You love the chaos. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll take a hydrate. I don't know if it's up and running yet. It is. I'm slowly working on my channel point icons. And you'll notice there's a couple duplicates, and a couple of them are going to be changed around quite a bit. I do almost all my own pixel art. What I don't do, my wife helps me with, because she's awesome. So those are going to kind of get updated as we go. As you can see, hydrate. We have my wonderful hydro flask, which was mostly helped from my wife. I drew this originally, and I didn't like how it turned out. So, you dreamed a random fact. You've been holding on to that. We'll get that 1 second. So yeah, my wife helped me draw. She kind of tried a second attempt at drawing it, and then I kind of combined them together. So we got my little hydro flask there. Okay, random fact, though. What random fact should we go for? What am I feeling random fact-wise? Oh, there's a lot of random facts. We'll go with something related to Skyrim while I am playing it. What is commonly known when you are looking at the races of Skyrim is there are certain different groups, and there's a whole lot of lore about where that they are coming from. However, amongst the 9 playable races in Skyrim, there is one of them that stands out in a very unique way, and that race is the Redguard. The Redguard stand out because of their origins. While every other race in Skyrim is set from this timeline, the Redguard are not. The way that Tamriel works are in time loops, which I believe they refer to as Keter or Kelper cycles, something like that. They got some phrase like that, which is basically the birth of the god Alue, who then turns into Akatosh, who then turns into Alduin, the end of time, which is kind of what we stop at here. When time ends, it begins again. Now, while every single one of these races came to exist at some point in this cycle, the Redguard did not. They sidestepped from their timeline, the previous one to the timeline that we know in the Elder Scrolls universe. They sidestepped from their timeline into this one, settling on the continent known as Yukuta, until eventually relocating even further into Tamriel. There's your random fact. While every other race is from this timeline, the Red Guard are actually, in fact, from the previous time cycle. Random fact. It was a bit of a longer one. They might not always be that long, but that's the one that came to mind. There's actually a decent-ish video on it I watched forever ago by, I think his name's Camelworks on YouTube. He does it, and he talks about what's referred to as the Sinister Elves, or the Sinestral Elves, or the Left-Handed Elves, which are actually the only other race that I know of that came with the Red Guard. Although that race is well and truly ex-nayed out of existence before the Elder Scrolls games that we know. There's a lot of races that are not in the mainline Elder Scrolls games. So, the Sinestral Elves being one of them. But yes, those are the two races that sidestepped from the previous timeline, and they did not get along. Which is why the Red Guards hate elves so much, because they had experience with elves from the previous timeline. Anyway, it got even longer, but I think his name's Camelworks. There's an entire video on it that's pretty informative. I like his videos for the information. He does have a tendency to do... I don't know if I would like fully endorse him or not. He doesn't do anything bad. Like, I don't know of any negatives about him. His art style is just a lot more mature than I do. Like, lots of mods that make characters more curvy and revealing in his videos. Which, maybe that's your thing. No shame if it is. It's just not mine. Ace place here. That doesn't do it for me. Anyway. But yeah. He does... The videos are very informative from him, so I watch them. Still. Anyway. What race? I know what race I was going to do. I have an actual build in my mind for this one that we are going to go for. And basically, I want to do a sneaky conjuring class. So we're going to use conjuration and illusion magic, but then we're also going to use bows, daggers, stealth, lockpicking, and everything. Because it's something that I've never done before, and I want to try it out. In addition, I'm going to try this out by... I'm going to set it once I get into game, but I'm actually going to turn the difficulty level up much higher than Novice, which is what I normally play on, because I play for the story, to make it a little bit more of a challenge for me. We'll kind of see how that goes, but we might adjust difficulty as needed if it feels too powerful or strong. But because we're doing conjuration, the first go-to is Breton. The other option that I'm considering is, because my main goal is to get Bound Bow, which is an amazingly slightly overpowered bow at low levels, would be to go for the Wood Elf. Because Wood Elves have, I think, benefits to both stealth and archery, but the Bretons have that extra conjuration, resistance to magic, and the dragon skin is really nifty if you're fighting mages and you need to throw out some more conjurations. So I'm thinking about going for Bretons, which kind of sound boring, because everyone's like, oh, you're playing Bretons, they're just one of the basically human races. But Bretons, lore-wise, are actually not entirely human. They are half-elves. They're descendants of men and elves. Another random lore fact that's much more common knowledge than the whole Red Guard one. Yes. Oh, and that is something, if you've ever played the Elder Scrolls Online, they released the Elsewhere expansion a couple of years ago, and it includes both Khajiits, where you can have both the various different kinds, like the Alfiq, which are basically magical talking house cats, to the Cathar, and all of the Khajiits that are the bigger ones, to the big lion-sized ones, to the ones who look like they can snap you in half. They got them all. And this is Elder Scrolls Online. It's the MMO that has them all, and it is wonderful, which I will probably do some streams about in the future, because it's one of the few MMOs I still actively play. I play ESO and World of Warcraft still. Not either. I play actually quite a bit of World of Warcraft to wrap myself out on that one. I'm not gonna do buff. I'm gonna do a little skinny. I like a skinnier build. Oh, we're gonna go with... No, I don't want to change my presets. We are gonna play male today, just because we're gonna go with like that skin tone. Going to go with no complexion or dirts, but I do want a scar. I gotta get a nice scar. Scar can tell a good... Oh, that's dirt color. There we go. Scar. Scar can tell a little bit of story. What is a character's backstory? I'm also thinking we're going to go with... maybe not, actually. I gotta decide whether I'm gonna play a vampire or not with them. Which is always one of the trickiest questions for me. Go like a little bit of like... I think I like this scar sometimes, because it's got like a little bit of like magical feeling to it. You know, like it might have been a rune, but got a good mouth scar there too. Bit of like maybe got his face hit by something sharp-ish. Another mouthish scar. I think we're gonna go with the good and simple kind of claw-marked scar. Either this one, or this one. I think we're gonna do that. You know, maybe got in a fight with a bear or a wolf or something in his backstory and got that little bit of scratch. For the war paint, we need to do something distinctly Breton, because they have, I believe they have some unique options. Yes, we do. We got the... No, these actually might not be too unique to them, but they feel more unique. Oh, well, thank you! Oh my goodness, thank you for the bits! Thank you so much for those, Moth! I really appreciate that. Uwu, back to you. I need to get a heart emote so I can spam a little heart emote thingy to people in the chat. But I only got one tier 1 sub emote. He's still the Santa. We're probably going to change him today. I haven't decided to what yet. If we're going to change him back to what he'll change back to. Which means the emote will probably go down for a day or two while Twitch decides, did you try to secretly upload anything inappropriate? Which is fair, because other streamers might. But I'm a family-friendly streamer, so I don't do that stuff. I think we're gonna go with purple, because purple is best color. We're gonna figure out... I don't want to mess around too much with the face shape, because then I'll be here for like 50 hours. I'm trying to think. I think the hearts that I have... We got a Tifa with a rose. Got a Cutie Pie with a heart. Noctis with a heart. Most of these have been gifted subs. I hang around a lot of Twitch chats, and if you hang around Twitch chats of certain people, you're likely to get... Those are probably the closest ones to love emotes that I have. Yeah, but you hang around Twitch chats enough, and you get gifted subs. I found that out. Oh, it's a little corgi. There's a little corgi next to your bits. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I like corgis. They're probably my favorite breed of dog. Oh yeah, we gotta get some eyeliner on here. I don't know if you're still there, Toxic. I do want to just give you another little shout out and say I appreciate you. Oh yeah, your phone died. You are good, Toxic. We were just chatting about various things. I was just about to say that I appreciated you stopping by too. It's good to see you. I always like having company in my chats. Are so good. I like golden retrievers. Golden retrievers suffer from the same thing as I find a lot of breeds of dogs. Where it's like a little spooky eye. They don't have like any good eyeshadow and tints. Anyway, corgis suffer from the kind of any popular dog breed where they've been very much kind of overbred. How did you just get the bits thing? Golden Retriever mixed once, and it was the best. I bet. I'm all for mixed breeds of dogs too. They tend to be healthier. Wait, how did you get the bits thing? Very Sleepy Moth just donated bits to me, if that's what you're asking. They actually donated 190 to me, which is super, super appreciated. So because of that, I think they've officially become my #1 cheerer. So they got the little one there. And I don't know, they probably got some kind of bit badge or something, but I'm not sure how those work. They also got one of the first badges because they are one of, like, I think my first 10 subscribers get those or something like that. I'm not sure how Twitch badges work yet, to be entirely honest. I got a PC for Christmas, so now I can do better streaming and stuff like that. That's super cool. I'm glad you got a new PC. Oh, pugs. Poor pugs. They have so many health issues. Oh, we'll go with, like, bright blue. Ooh, no. Gray might win this one. Or gold. I think we're going to stick with gold. I'm going down the rabbit hole of finding face shapes. Yeah, they did not. That is exactly the best way to it's humans messing up nature at its finest. Nice, like, small eyebrows. I kind of want to get him some, like, yeah, like medium bushy eyebrows. So that a nice bit of eyeliner on him, eyeshadow. It's got a bit of, good bit of that. Mouth shape. Got any mouth shapes might be better. Trying to end up with, like, a semi-normal looking human. That's a decent mouth shape. You can do purple lipstick. I'll do a little bit of purple lipstick on him. Oh. And a good full beard. There we go. I think long hair and a beard, unless we got, like, a good punk hairstyle, I think he can pull off. Maybe like a mohawk. Not really feeling the mohawk on him. Or the side swooped. Not really feeling him. We're gonna go with probably the one with a bit of, like, a mixture of a side. Where was it? It's down here somewhere. In that one. Because this guy's probably gonna become a vampire, we're going to go with as black as we can hair. There we go. That's a look. We'll go with this for now. This will be our little conjury, sneaky, magey guy. Names. There's a bull breed that is so short and muscular. So sad looking. Yeah, like, a lot of, like, there's certain breeds of bulldogs that have been bred so much to the point that they can't even breed of their own accord anymore. It all has to be assisted. And, like, that's, like, when you know you've probably crossed the line. Like, that's when nature's really telling you you done messed up, Aaron. Naming him Morgath. He looks like a Morgath. Which is some Arthurian legend character, I'm sure. It just popped into my head and
You
King
from
Arthur
Daggerfall,
attached
Breton?
to it.
Fleeing from some court intrigue?
Captain, what should we do? He's not on the list.
Forget the list. He goes to the block.
By your orders, Captain. I'm sorry. We'll make sure your remains are returned to High Rock. Follow the captain, prisoner.
Wait for this, like, cutscene mode now. I try not to talk over cutscenes in games, particularly like Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but I'm pretty sure we've all seen Skyrim a little bit at this point. So I'm probably going to talk over the cutscenes a little bit more in Skyrim than I would other games. But please feel free if you want me to. Just let me know and I won't.
You started this war, plunged Skyrim into chaos, And now the Empire is going to put you down and restore the peace.
I also know so much about the lore in this game that I can pretty much explain anything you need offhand if you miss something or I accidentally talk over it.
It's nothing. Carry on.
Because I put too many hours
Yes,
into it.
General Tullius. Give them their last rites. As
Oh,
we commend
no.
your souls to Aetherius, blessings of the eight divines.
Did you modify that one?
Talos, shut up. Let's get this over.
Yeah. Well, now we have the dragon who's picking its nose. Oh, what other options do we have here?
My ancestors are smiling at me, Imperials. Can you say the same?
There's a few of them. Not all of them work. Yep, definitely picking the nose.
As fearless in death as he was in life.
Oh.
Next, the Breton.
Oh yeah, and he's dead.
Here it is again. Did you hear that?
But unlike Dark Souls, not everyone has a tragic ending in this game.
To the block, prisoner. Nice and easy.
By the way, as mentioned, I am fighting a little bit of a migraine today, so if you see me pushing like right here at all or anything like that, that's why I'm doing that. Or if I drink a little bit more water, it's just to try to counteract that.
What in oblivion is that?
Sentry, what do you
But
see?
the mean is what's bringing you this late night stream, because I have to take medicine with caffeine in it, which means we ain't sleeping. Which means I'll probably just have to take a midday cat nap tomorrow, and that's okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want my face near a severed head either. Why aren't we looking around? There we go. Okay, while we're still here, let's bump up the difficulty. I think we're gonna stick it just nice mid-range and expert for now. Just because I normally play novice because I play this game kind of for the story and the... I don't want to call it mindless familiarity, but the mindless familiarity. Move. Thank you. Hello, Yarloflick. Goodbye, Yarloflick. Hello, dragon. Goodbye, dragon. Speedrunning tricks there. This is actually a really well-made opening cutscene. Really kind of shows the dragons and everything. You get an introduction to Alduin, that's the end boss of the whole game. Nice little connection points. You know, decent graphics. This game holds up well. I mean, this is the remastered version, special edition, but it still holds up really well. Have you done mod? I have not done a modded Skyrim. I will probably do them in the future. Just because I love modded Skyrim. Oh, okay, I should clarify. I have done hours and hours and hours of modded Skyrim, just not on stream. Is what I took it as like on stream. I've played through tons of modded Skyrim. I really do enjoy vanilla Skyrim though. There's something about this game that's kind of just simple.
There you go. Take a look
And
around.
kind of
There should
what
be plenty of gear to choose from.
what
See
I
if I can find something
expect
that
from it, and
follows.
it's just kind of familiar. Is a realistic modern funny clothes mod. There's a lot of golden mods for this. Okay. We are going to do an armorless playthrough because we're going to be doing mage build primarily. We're going to slap that onto favorites. We may also want to slap the healing. We'll see if we're going to slap it there for now, but we'll see if we need it. We definitely want Dragon Skin. We're going to equip that. And That magic resistance should be nice. We're not gonna worry about flames right now.
Let's keep moving. That thing is still out there.
Ooh, there's a gold. Have you seen Griffin McElroy play Skyrim so much mods with so many mods broken the game? I've not seen him do that. I have broken my game many times with mods. Many, many times. Anything good on these shelves? Oh. I'm gonna want every penny. What's this give me? Anything? Nope. Wooden bowl? Nope.
Come on, this way.
Wine. There's a ladle. Anything good? We're gonna swap this out for probably a dagger, once convenient. But eventually we'll swap this hand for the bound weapon summon.
Just give me a minute.
Just because it's actually a really, I think, underappreciated skill.
Stormcloaks. Maybe we can reason with them.
Hello. Nope. Oh, nope, not my familiar. I'm out of magicka. Perfect. I will say, if you haven't seen a lot of Skyrim, this can be a little bit graphic sometimes. Like, I would not call this a graphic game, but I am aware that other people have. It's been told we are going to definitely be using healing this playthrough, and we're going to want a whole lot of things with magic regain. Yeah, I don't either. I actually, like, one of my favorite genres is splatstick. Which is the horror movies that are over-the-top gory and are comedies, not horror. It's like, I don't mind gore at all. I don't consider gore to be mature, but I know some people do. Hereditary is a unique level of horror movie. I have seen it. I actually love horror movies, but Hereditary takes it up a notch. Like, there's like horror movie, and then there's how far can this go horror movie, and that's Hereditary. He posted a TikTok yesterday and got 300 views on it, so I'm kind of happy. That's awesome. That's awesome, Toxic. Oh, I just looted something that I didn't need. You can take that back. Congrats. You can never watch horror again. So my biggest issue is that a lot of horror movies aren't... Well, hi! Did you have to put me in the corner? Move. Don't worry, he's a familiar. We can summon him back. Is this game free on PC or anything? I don't believe this is free on PC. I think it's like $50 still, if you buy it, the special edition. Skyrim's been around for a while, but it is a very still popular game. I bought the Elder Scrolls Anthology, so I actually own all of them, and they are all good games. I might do an Arena and a Daggerfall, the first two game streams, at some point when I'm really feeling getting some retro. But I might have to look to mod Daggerfall a little bit, because Daggerfall is a very beautiful old pixel game from the 80s that is not necessarily age appropriate. It's back when, because people couldn't necessarily always tell what pixels are, they could get away with showing a whole lot. So that game does not stand up to Twitch's terms of service policy. Where are you? There you guys are.
You fellows having a long journey.
Anyway. Anything? No?
How I've been entertaining their
We'll
comrades.
pick that in a second.
Don't you even know what's going on? A dragon is attacking Helgen.
A dragon. Please, don't make up nonsense.
Do I switch? No, we'll keep the sword for now, because we're going to swap it out sooner or later. I'm not sure if it's on the skill book.
Come with us. We need to get out of here.
You have no authority.
Not skill books.
Didn't you hear me? I said the keep is under attack.
Forget the old man. I'll come with you.
Wait a second. Looks like there's something in this cage.
Well, we broke something. No hands. Okay, there we go.
See if you can get it open with some.
My character just decided to run as much as he needed to.
Read everything
Does that get me anything? Nope.
you can get.
Sure, take all my things.
Why don't you ask? You said take all your things. We'll take all your things. There we go.
Grab what you can.
Gold. That. That. And your clothes. Sorry, sir. I just need me some clothes. Okay. Let's actually equip these. I don't need stamina though. Well, actually, I might need stamina because of how weapons work. But let's assign these to 1, 2, and 3, respectively, for hot mines.
There's no way out that way.
Okay. Now we should be in business with some Meiji robes. Okay.
Where in Oblivion,
Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'll probably still even be on camera for a second. I just need to take another Tylenol. This migraine's proven to be a little bit too strong for my normal medicine. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. It's just like that slightest little migraine, right? You kind of hear. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
supposed to go? Where's the way out?
Give me a minute. Let me think.
This is also a good reminder to say that always use all medicine as directed and just be responsible with them. It's really great to have, but I just like to say that from time to time. You know.
I cannot.
Did I do... That's what I thought I did. Just wanted to make sure. The expert's choosing to be no real difficulty at all with expert here. Did we get him? We got him.
See if we can find a way out. I better stay back.
Anything on you guys useful? Nope. Nope, nope. Okay. Anything that way? Hello? This is the way we need to go. I think the worst part about a good migraine, I say good migraine like it's a good thing, but I think the worst part about a good migraine is that, like, my body knows it wants sleep, but the migraine won't let me sleep. It's like, well, what do you want then, body? Can you think of a more effective way to tell me you need sleep? I have potions. Oh, yeah, arachnophobia. Oh, You don't have arachnophobia, the opposite. I saw spiders, and then I remembered that a lot of people have arachnophobia from this game, and then I'm like, wait, this is Mothette. Mothette's got the opposite feels. Where you're like, oh, I'm sorry, spiders. Okay, they're such well-designed spiders. Like for a fantasy spider. I mean, look at this. It's like a very interesting design choice, and I kind of like it. You know? Hello, spider. Oh, I can't take him with me. Boop, boop, boop. I know a lot of people who haven't been able to play Skyrim because of their arachnophobia. Which, like, fair play to them. But I couldn't imagine having something like that prevented me playing a game. So my heart kind of goes out to them. We'll leave the sleeping bear there. No need to disturb him. This is his cave. That's probably something that we will violate many, many times in the future because someone told us to go somewhere and there are bears there. But for right now, we can just sneak by. Okay. So, goal number 1, by the way, is to get Conjuration to 50. Because that's when we should start regularly seeing the Bound Bow book. Which is what I want more than anything Conjuration right now.
Looks like he's gone for good this time. But I don't think we should stick around to see if he comes back. The closest town from here is Riverwood. My uncle's the blacksmith there. I'm sure he'd help you out. It's probably best if we split up. Good luck.
There's
I
a
wouldn't
game
have
with
made it without
arachnophobia
your
filter.
help
It turns
today.
the spiders into JPEGs of cats and replaces them with hissing meows. Replaces the hissing with meows. There you go. That's good of them. I think there's another one. I think it's called, it's like the size one. I can't remember what it is, but you play like really small people. And I can't remember the name of it. And it like turns them into like legless floaty bobs of anger. Can't remember what the name of that one is. Hello, Hadvar. You say we should split up, but we're probably gonna stick together, because that's what friends do.
Listen, you should go to Solitude and join up with the Imperial Legion. We could really use someone like you.
Probably
If
will
the
do.
rebels have
I
themselves
side
a
Legion
dragon,
in
then
Skyrim
the Tunnels
almost
is the
every
only one that
playthrough,
can stop them.
unless I got a very specific character. I'm really big into like making choices based on the way that I picture my character's headcanon, and like their stories and personality. And the Stormcloaks, people use arachnophobia filter. I like to enjoy looking at them. I won't be in any game that I play. Wow, that was English. It's okay. I like to tell people that English isn't my first language. I don't know what is, though. Oh, yep, you were talking. Sorry, Hadvar. I said this whole entire speech about not splitting up and then ran away from you. Back when I was in band a lot more, back when I was in band and in high school, and I was in all of the bands, I used to tell people that music was my first language and English was my second, because I'm infamous for not knowing how to spell anything.
3 of the 13 ancient standing stones that dot Skyrim's landscape.
But
Go ahead.
I don't quite feel like I can say that anymore because I have not played instruments in far too long. I still really enjoy music, but
Each his own. It's not for me to
my
judge.
favorite instrument, the one that I played mostly in high school, is one known as the euphonium, which is a bit of an odd instrument, but the problem is it's also a very expensive one. So outside of renting it for high school, I've never been able to own one. So I do own a mandolin, and I can play that okay-ish,
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, you've already earned your pardon.
but I
But
don't have
until we
that
get
with
that
me.
confirmed by
I have a
General
trombone, I
Tullius,
can play that a
stay
bit,
clear of other
but I
Imperial
also don't have it
soldiers
with
and
me.
avoid any complications, all right?
Those are kind of the main ones. You only had it for a term. I was the epitome of a band geek. My senior year, I was in marching band, jazz band, concert band, bluegrass band, music composition, and I think something else as well. You went to learn the drums? The drums are really good. Oh, I didn't want to loot that. I'm not going to be using that. I loved playing the drums. I did not play the drums in band, but I always like to play them. Yep, welcome to Skyrim. Skyrim
I'm glad
is a
you
notoriously buggy game.
We're almost to Riverwood.
Expect ragdoll physics to do all sorts of things. At any point in time, things might glitch through the floor. Every once in a while, something might just fly off to who knows where. Hello. Awoo back to you. But yeah, there's lots of little buggy, quirky thingies like that happen in this game.
Things look quiet enough here. Come on, there's my uncle.
You walk slow, Hadvar. I can walk too. Games always do this, where you have two speeds. Running faster than them, or so slow you couldn't keep up with them in a million years. Actually, I'm actually kind of keeping up with him.
Shores, bones. What happened to you, boy?
But
Are you in some
Uncle,
feels like
kind
it's
of
one of the
keep
two.
your voice down. I'm fine, but we should go inside to talk.
What's going on? And who's this?
He's a friend. Saved my life, in fact. Come on, I'll explain everything, but we need to go inside.
Okay, come inside then. Sigrid will get you something to eat.
Hello. Sorry if the camera motions make anyone else annoyed. I just like to move the camera around. I like how it moves. I like to emote with it. I'm like, and over here we have a pot. And it's a dead deer. Or elk. Moose. Moose?
Sigrid, we have company.
This is probably an elk. But those antlers look a little bit more moose-like. Those are deer. Those are big for deer.
Hadvar, we've been so worried about you. Come,
You don't
two
mind?
must be
I'm glad
hungry.
you don't mind.
Sit down and I'll get you something.
I
to
grew
eat.
up in Utah, by the way, where everyone was a hunter.
Now then, boy.
So,
What's the big mystery? What are you doing here looking like you lost an argument with a cave bear?
I don't know where to start. You know I was assigned to General Tullius.
I think there's something simple in
We were stopped
hunting.
in Helgen
If that's a way that
when
you're
we were
going to
attacked
get food for your
by a
family,
dragon.
I can respect it,
A
especially if you
dragon?
use every part of the
That's
animal.
Ridiculous.
I'm not a vegetarian.
You aren't
It'd
drunk,
be ironic of
are
me to
you,
say
boy?
elsewise. And an animal that has its life
Let
in
him tell a
nature is
story.
better than almost any farm. Let's
Not
be
much
real
more
here.
to tell. This dragon flew
So, like,
over
for
and
hunting
just
in that
wrecked the whole
regard, like,
place.
I'm
Mass confusion.
okay with it.
I don't
I
know if
really
anyone
don't
else
like
got out
sports
alive.
hunting. I will
I
say
doubt
that.
I'd made it out myself if not
I
for my
can't
friend.
justify the
I need to get
murder of
back
an
to
animal
Solitude
just so you
and
can
let
put
them know
something on
what's
your
happening.
wall.
I thought you could help us out. Food,
That's just my opinion.
supplies, a place to stay.
Of course. Any friend of Hadvar's is a friend of mine. I'm glad to help however I can.
But
Like I said, I'm glad to help in any way I can. But I need your help. We need
Utah
your
and I
help.
mixed up. I've never been to Utah, but I have been to Idaho. They are pretty much the same state. Oh, that's a really good ring he had there. Like, it's a very valid mix-up to make.
The Jarl needs
They're
to know if
practically
there's
the
a
same
dragon
state.
on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruff in Whiterun to send whatever soldiers he can. If you'll do that,
Idaho is just northern Utah, basically. It's like northern Utah with more potato farms. And then you get to like the very, very tip of it, and then it's no longer northern Utah. You just entered like West Montana. it's a very, like, state between states. Kind of like Nebraska. I'd say Nebraska's more corn, and more corn. Idaho's a lot of potato fields. At least the parts that I've been to. Did he tell me I wasn't paying attention? Did he tell me to go talk to the Jarl? He did.
Really see a dragon?
Okay.
What did it look like? Did it have big teeth?
Well, I'd better get back to work.
But yeah. And Utah's a very unique state. I actually loved the terrain of Utah. Because, like, if you go to Utah, there's, like, southern Utah, which are those beautiful sandstone arches, that red stone. There's a lot of different kind of lizards and local wildlife that's really cool. And then you have, like, the western part of Utah, which is the Salt Flats, which are absolutely amazing and beautiful. You have the Book Cliffs and, like, the northern Utah, which are the Rocky Mountains. So you get that, like, wonderful Rocky Mountain portion of Utah. And then even the Salt Lake itself. Because the Salt Lake is just super saline. So you only really get blind shrimp and a couple other things there. But in the middle of Salt Lake, there's a place called Antelope Island. Named because at one point it may have had what we call antelope, but aren't technically antelope. I can't remember. Something like that. But Antelope Island has orb weaver spiders everywhere. And they make the most beautiful webs. They're just really pretty spiders. So. And where I used to live, we used to rent the basement from family. And I lived, the spiders, yeah, they are beautiful spiders. That's what I was thinking of when I was talking about Utah, and I'm like, it's the orb weaver spiders that make me immediately think of. Because they're just such cool spiders. But no, speaking of spiders, I used to live,
no adventures, no theatrics,
I rented a basement out in a place that was kind of up a mountain. It was kind of up more towards the mountainous areas of Utah. Staying vague for obvious reasons, but kind of lived up towards the mountainous areas. It was very much not a big city. And because of that, come every fall, we would get invaded by hobo spiders, which are not a dangerous spider. You were thinking of Ohio. You know, hobo spiders are not a dangerous spider. They have a reputation. People think that they're brown recluses. They are not. Brown recluses are not native to Utah. The only time you get a brown recluse in Utah is if someone brings it in, like in luggage or something. They are not a species that thrives in Utah. Anyway, but we get hobo spiders, which look a little bit similar, and the bite has a much more milder but similar effect. But the thing about hobo spiders is they're not even aggressive, but they're very, very fast. So a lot of people are terrified from them because you like walk into your house and you'll see the spider and they're like across the floor, gone. They're really cool looking. I tried to keep them out of the house as much as I could. Unfortunately, I did have to take a few of them out because it would just get too bad. And I felt bad for it, but there's just like a certain point it was like, no. Yeah. Oh, the brown recluse paranoia. I'm like, they have a very kind of niche native area. It's like for most places in the United States of America, and like brown recluse spiders, like, yeah, they have a dangerous bite, but like there isn't really a spider, including black widow, that is actually dangerous to the majority of the population. Black widows, they have a dangerous bite, especially if you are allergic, and it can be deadly. But if you get bitten by them and you get medical treatment quickly, you have very, very good chances to just be fine. Same with brown recluse. If you get bitten, you have very, very good chances. I would argue that ticks are more dangerous than spiders in America because of Lyme disease, which can cause permanent lasting damage, where most spider bites will not.
Well, I don't know what you overheard. Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
Yeah, just our skin infections, which is something that people don't even realize. It's like, nope, you didn't get bit, you just got a rash. I understand where the mistake happened, but one is not the other. What do you have that I want? Raised zombies not very useful. None of these help me today. Do you have stuff to sell you? Oh, I was going to read that book, and I didn't read that book. Oh, do you actually have boots? Do you have good boots? Hello! Hello, Jacob! Jacob the gayest Lucario. I'm going to call you Jacob if that's okay. But welcome to the chat. It's good to see you here. We're just playing a little bit of Skyrim today because I can't sleep. I just also realized I didn't have my chat open on my screen, which makes me slower to respond. So sorry about that. But hello! Perfectly fine by you. Okay, wonderful. Your dad claims his friend got bit by a hobo spider and his leg turned black. We're talking about spiders right now. I hope that doesn't scare you away too much. Mothet here, the wonderful Mothet, and me are both pretty well spider fans. I'm not nearly as knowledgeable as them. But we're just talking spiders. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. I don't recognize your name before. I'm always glad to see a new face. We're just playing a little bit of Skyrim and kind of just chatting tonight. Couldn't sleep, so this is just where we are. Do you have boots? Like, I want shoes boots. Do you not just have shoes? Why does no one just have plain shoes? I just want some plain shoes. Is that too much to ask? Ooh, we're looking up at the ceiling now. We'll do this quest.
Yeah, we did have a bit of an ornament. Solid
Oh, I was going to
gold in
comment
shape of
on
a
the
dragon's claw.
Hobo Spider thing.
You could? I've got
I
some
do
coin coming
believe,
in from my
from
last
what I understand, they have a slightly like
yours if
necrotic
you
bite,
bring my claw back.
where there is like that little bit,
You're going
but
to get
it's
those
very
seeds, you
minor.
should head to Bleak Falls Barrow, northeast of town. Yes.
Your
So
profile
now
pic
you
is
don't
better.
have to go, do you?
Oh, I gotta look at his profile pic real quick. It sounds like
Here needs a guide.
Well,
maybe.
No,
I was gonna let
by
me.
the 8, fine, but only to the edge of town.
Whoa. This is the second time that our character has gone on a self-guided adventure. Whee! Where are we going? Is that gonna fix it? Nope, we're still going. Look, Mom, no hands.
Town and across the bridge to get to Bleak Falls Barrow.
I don't...
From here,
I've
though,
never had this
the
happen
mountains
before,
just
but
over
for
the
whatever
road.
reason, it's doing it today.
Good dog.
I want to look at your profile picture now. And it's not... I can't pull it up on my phone, apparently. No, it's not going to let me. Oh well, I'll take a look at it later. I'm only imagining what it is, given your name. And I can only imagine that it's beautiful. Is pink and yellow. Aw, that sounds even greater. Pink and yellow are wonderful colors. Let's see, we're going up here. There we go. Level up that conjuration. Level up. We're going to put these points in Magicka, because that needs it more than anything right now. And that. Take away some of the just massive drain of these spells. So we can have our friend up and fighting a little bit more often. I don't know, are you familiar with Skyrim, Jacob? I assume that you popped in because you saw Skyrim and were familiar with it, or at least enjoyed the game. Could be wrong. Yep. Yeah, I'm going for a build that I haven't done before. We're going to try Sneaky Assassin, but with Conjuration. So this is a bit of a new game. This is all vanilla. I don't have any mods, not even the bug fixing mods. So obviously got Conjuration, but I'm going to work to try to get to Conjure Bow. Because Conjure Bow is actually really powerful for archery, and then we'll level up archery, conjurations, and sneaking, respectively. And that's kind of the build we're going to go for and see how it does. Pink and yellow shinies are your favorites. I am not as well versed on Pokemon as I would like, particularly the shinies. I've always loved Pokemon, but I just didn't ever get into the community enough to really know like all of the breakdowns of what various Pokemon were. I just was not, I have a Pokemon card collection now even.
Now ain't this a surprise?
But I'll probably do a Pokemon playthrough on stream sometime. But yeah, I loved Pokemon as a kid. I watched the original, I think I've told this story before. It wasn't on any of the shows I had as a kid, on any of the channels. So I would go down to the local library and they had the, I think it was the first, it was like the first, it was a VHS, to date myself here, VHS. And it was like the first few episodes, maybe the first half of season 1. And I would borrow that whenever I could and watch that and the Pokemon movie. Like the first Pokemon movie. And that was my like childhood Pokemon obsession, and that was all I had. But I loved it so much, and then I tried to get into Pokemon cards. I never really got into them too much. Doing a challenge on Pokemon Sword. Oh, that sounds really fun. I tried to get into Pokemon cards. My parents didn't like card collecting too much. So it was a while before I got them, and by the time that I finally got Pokemon cards, I got them when all the other kids had moved on. So, and then I didn't play a Pokemon game until Diamond. And that was the first Pokemon game I got. It was Pokemon Diamond. Which I played, and then I played Pokemon White, and then Pokemon Moon. And that's my Pokemon experience. And I didn't sink enough hours in those to become well versed in them. I want to. Kinda want to get Pokemon Sword and Shield eventually, but that's gonna have to wait till I have my Switch back. Buy DS yourself. Yeah, my parents weren't that bad. They weren't like fans of the show, but they weren't necessarily against it. So I just didn't get a lot of it. And I didn't grow up with like the channels that had Pokemon on it. So. Yep. Mine was not like banned from it, just lack of exposure. My dad did have a thing about tabletop games and Dungeons and Dragons, though. Not that it was like demon worship, but he was worried it was a little bit too geeky for me as a child. That it would send me down a path where I'd get bullied, which is simultaneously like a really cute way to care about me. And it was kind of frustrating, but I always remember like what's it called? I had to like, we would always like come up with excuses like, well, we're going to go hang out and cause chaos and wreak havoc, and then we just go play Dungeons and Dragons. Just didn't tell my dad what we were doing for a while. And then we started telling him, and it turned out it was no big deal. My parents were pretty chill with stuff like that when they found out. He just wasn't too enthusiastic about me getting into it. Yeah. He had to explain to my mom that Poliwhirl is based on a real tadpole and transparent belly and not something to hypnotize kids. Oh, yes. For your 10th birthday. Oh, I did not. Again, fortunately, my parents were not like that. Oh. A lot of my friends' parents were, though, that's for sure. I knew a kid growing up in high school that wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and Star Wars because they all had fantasy elements that could lead and connotate witchcraft. So naturally, they just watched them whenever they went over to friends' houses. I grew up in Utah, so there's like a very strict culture in Utah in the general, where setting up to go to hell.
It's a bad time to get lost.
I should have just let you pull the lever in hindsight. We'll let our familiar deal with it. I think I watched the Pokemon movies when I was a kid. There you go. That's the way to do it. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, there's like, in Utah, we had this, it's like a very strict, like, A Wild Party was like a PG-13 movie and a pack of root beer. That's what I always like to say. It's very kind of like reserved culture there, for the most part. It's loosened up much more nowadays. Oh, we got a bing-to-bing. What was that for? Thank you for the follow, Jacob. Always appreciated. Welcome to the Tada Daffy family. I don't have a name for all of y'all's yet. I need to come up with something. But welcome. Always glad to have another follower. I really appreciate it. Anyway, but then there was like my mom, and oh, that was on the right one. Snake well, isn't it? Yeah, snake well. My mom was much more laid back with these things, and I distinctly remember that my best friend was not allowed to watch any rated R movie. Like at all. There was no exceptions to this rule, which is very, very common in Utah. And I don't know if it's common elsewhere, but in Utah that was like the standard. And he came over to our house and in high school, and he would watch rated R movies, and my mom would be like, nope, do you have permission from his parents to watch this? And we'd be like, yeah, of course we do. We never did. I think my mom knew that too, but it was kind of the, I'm going to ask you this so that it's you who lied to me and not me that permitted it. But I think the first one we ever watched was Shaun of the Dead. So that's a fantastic movie. I love Shaun of the Dead. I don't know how it holds up today, but when I first watched it, I loved it. Good critique and parody of zombie movies. And then I also know we watched Lost Boys. Was another one of the first R movies I watched. I think that was the first rated R movie my wife watched too. Was Lost Boys. Wow, this frostbite spider. He's got a lot of health. It's a big boy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. A couple of those. There we go. I feel bad now, though. I don't want those. We'll leave him with him.
me out of it.
Oh wow, we are very low health. Give this a save. Up we go.
It's coming loose. I can feel it. Never should have thought.
If you're not familiar with this, I think Sleepy Moth, you might not be the most familiar with Skyrim. He just runs off, and he has this, and he runs away from you because he thinks he's so clever, and it's just annoying. So I'm killing him now. I'm probably going to need to get water again this stream. I keep having to drink. Okay. What do we got in here? Anything good? Posture check. I can do that. Thank you. I don't know if we've talked about this before. I know I've talked about this before on stream. I don't have a chair right now. I have not had a chair since I moved to Massachusetts. So... Oh, there's Draugr. Y'all got so much health on Expert. This is why I play on Novice, because when you play on Novice, you feel like God-powered. Oh, I leveled up. We're going to use it to my advantage. We're going to put an extra point in health. Probably just alternate health and magic, huh? What do we got here, though? That's useful, but this is what I actually want. Because that's going to be used much more later. Oh, while I'm paused on this screen, we're going to see if this works. Oh, I don't wake my roommate. This is my chair right now. It's a cheap $20 Walmart Ottoman. That's padded. It's a gray box. I store some sweaters and cardigans in it. Because it can open up. It works pretty well. I sit on it cross-legged, which is something that not a lot of you can see. But I'm basically sitting here cross-legged because it acts like a nice little floor. Anyway. Fun random fact. Quick back support. Yeah, I brought a chair with me. You guys are not playing nicely. Yeah. I had a camping chair with me, and it lasted about a week. There we go. One of the joints broke. It's like not even, it's not an old camping chair either. It was like probably the third time I used it. I was a little bit mad about it. Anyway. Ozark, Walmart's crappy brand. Anyway. But yeah, like one joint broke and I'm like, well, that's stupid. And then another joint, and I fixed it with Gorilla Tape. Boop, boop, boop. Wish I have a roll next to me. My redneck origin roots there. And then another joint broke, and I fixed it with Gorilla Tape. And then a third joint broke, and I fixed it with Gorilla Tape. And I'm like, man, this chair is going to be mostly tape, but it's still holding. And then the metal leg snapped clean in half in 2 separate points. And I'm like, okay, this has gone beyond what I can fix with Gorilla Tape. But it certainly tried its best to hold on for a while. I don't know why I did that. Oh, there's too many of you. Well, guess what? Did that hit any of them? I'm not sure if it did or not. You've broken so many camping chairs, no chair can contain me. But to be fair, I think they're as old as you. Yeah. I remember broken many a chair in my life. It wasn't a camping chair, but I was when I was working at an adult assisted living center, and we had these this white crappy lawn chair that we used as the office chair that sat kind of in front of the desk. It wasn't even in an office. We just had a desk sitting in the living room where we put this chair on hardwood floor, and I sat down on it and everything seemed fine, and then one of the legs shot off across the room, snapping the plastic clean in half, zipped across the floor, put a dent in the wall as I fell onto the floor, and I just sat there for a second, and I'm like, I'm a bigger guy, but I was by far not the biggest guy who regularly sat in that chair. Oh. It just chose me to give out on. Those chairs are bad, yeah. I also tend to have, I'm pretty convinced that I have some magical, caustic touch ability. Where things I touch age faster than normal. You've got some health, good sir. He beat through 3 of them. Oh, the boss at the end of this is going to be a real treat. Conjuration increased. All the conjuration. Nope. I'm out of magicka. Should be 2, right? Nope, I hit 3. Turn around. Focus on the puppy behind you. Focus on the puppies behind you. I need to do healing. Why did Draugr hit so hard? 2. Should give me enough. Perfect. How many of these? I'm out of stamina potions. Sounds about right. Got him. Perfect. I need a stamina potion. I don't really use stamina, but I kind of feel like I need a stamina potion. Oh, we're not level 3 yet. We're just almost. I mean, we are level 3, but we're almost level 4. We haven't leveled up again. I thought we had. Okay. I need a Fusro. No! Oh no, when did I last save? Oh. Okay. It's bad, but not terrible.
Never should have.
We're gonna save after we killed him, so we're a little bit further this time. I'll grab a common soul gem. Never know when those are useful. Probably should be searching these more. Maybe it's a good thing we died. Now I remember to search these. Did you have a good New Year's, Moth? And if Jacob's still here? My viewership's at 3, so he might have gone, and that's okay. I always appreciate when someone stops by, and the follow's always nice. If he's here or not. Got him dealt with. Conjure familiar. Let's level up. Put in health, didn't we? I think for sake of Yeah, you had a pretty good day? That's good to know. This is the one that I need, but I don't know. I'm glad that you had a good day. You know, I made a joke about, to all of my friends, messaging them that when it was New Year's for me, that, oh, spoilers, 2021 still sucks, but I actually do have, like, realistically, things aren't magically going to be better, and I think a lot of people think they will be, and we kind of need to understand that just because it's a new year, things aren't magically going to be better. Let's just say that right now. Coronavirus is still going on and probably only going to get worse for a little bit. These pandemics don't last just a year. They usually last like 3 to 5 if you study epidemiology. And I'm not saying like we need to buckle down and just be smart about things going forward. And make it through everything if we do that. And we have things to be hopeful for as well. Wow, they like did so much damage to me. Like, sure, a lot of stuff isn't perfect, but it doesn't do good to dwell on the bad things or things that could be better. Oh, it killed me too. I feel the hoax, the family hoax thing. My immediate family is really understanding. Primarily because I don't necessarily want to get too many details with it, but my mom's immunocompromised at the moment. So we've been hyper aware of it. And because of that, my family's been better than I think they would be. In terms of like aunts and uncles and things. But I still know a lot of them think it's a hoax. And I'm a little bit disappointed in them. I'm a little lot disappointed in them. But they're being slightly smarter than I thought they would. My wife gets frustrated because she's still stuck in Utah. That worked perfectly. So she'll go around places and she's like, no one's wearing a mask, and da-da-da-da, and validly so. She has every right to be frustrated with people not listening to it. Wearing masks shouldn't be political. I know it's slightly inconvenient, but suck it up, Buttercup. It's better than being dead. Got a better sword now. I actually really dislike the phrase "suck it up, Buttercup" because it can be used for the wrong purposes, but I feel like it's also the only phrase that can like rightfully justify people who are complaining about masks. I did hear it put really well though by someone. The people who are complaining about masks being oppressive are the same people who have never been oppressed in their lives. And it was like a big oof moment when they said that, and I'm like, oh my goodness, yep, that's 100% it. It's people who are, because it is, it's people who come from positions of privilege, who've just never had to legitimately face oppression, so the moment they have to do something slightly inconvenient, it feels like the world's ending to them. I just get sick. I have family, I have friends that are immunocompromised, and you deciding that you can't wear a mask risks them. Like, and It's not about what you want. It's an all or nothing thing. Oh, probably. Probably. I know that that's true for at least every person I personally know who sits within that camp. I get mad because people... I haven't heard this one nearly as much, thankfully, but I'm almost certain it's still around there. But the being LGBT is a choice. And whenever I hear that, I just pause, and I'm just like, who in their right mind would choose to be part of an oppressed minority? Like, if that right in itself is not enough to completely disprove it being a choice, I don't know what is. It's like, oh, you just chose to be that way. And it's like, yes, I chose to do something that makes me abnormal from everyone else that's going to cause me persecution and grief for the rest of my life. Just disconnect. It makes me frustrated. And that's a very oversimplified way to say it. Like, that doesn't even begin to touch on the breast and the points that it should, that it needs to like get into this, because it's not an easy one sentence topic. Things like this are not just magical short little descriptions. There's years of studying things that we don't understand about people and how people work, and it's not something that we should boil down so simply. But long and behold, people think they can do that, and you shouldn't. Another terribly oversimplified way to put it is, I didn't choose to like cheese and dairy products. In fact, I'm lactose intolerant, so I really shouldn't eat them. I didn't choose to like them, but I like them, so I still eat them. And that's not a hard concept for people to grasp. But heaven forbid, they just happen to be born some way that's different than them. I'm getting a little bit ranty. It's just something that to me should be so common knowledge, and it's not. And like, I understand, like, for a long while, I had backwards justification too, but the thing is like, I had to backwardsly justify it. I don't know if that makes any sense. I didn't just have bad opinions. It was like, I had to come up with these bad opinions that then they were to justify other things. Like, they weren't logical. I came up with these like illogical counter arguments to get around it. But that's what they ultimately were still these illogical counter arguments. Yes, that was a perfect drop from him. We've been really lucky with drops so far. Oh, I forgot to equip it. But a Ring of Minor Seeking and an Amulet of Julianos? Those are both really good drops this early on. Anyway, sorry for the oversimplified explanations. I don't like to oversimplify explanations like that, because it really doesn't take into the nuance of accounts, but when it can be boiled down so simply, I'm just like, why is this still an argument? Why are we still arguing about why people should have basic human rights? Why we do this? Makes sense to me because no one gave me good answers for my questions. Exactly. I don't like to talk about it too. I talk about it a little bit more privately. I don't talk about it a lot on stream. Just because it's like a little bit of my private life, and I feel a little bit weird talking about it on a stream where I know there's going to be a VOD. But it's been mentioned, I'm Ace, which is part of the LGBTQI. It's the A. I'm also of the mindset that A can stand for ally. I like to have allies be within the community with us. But I'm Ace, I've brought that up before. It's not something that I chose to be. It's something that has caused issues for me in my life before, when I didn't know this, when I didn't know what it was. And it's something that had I known in high school and junior high, things would have made more sense, and my life would have been so much easier. And it's okay. I love where I am right now. I'm very happy with where my life is right now. But things would have been easier. And it's just like, I feel so bad for people who don't, like, it created some challenges for me growing up, particularly into early adulthood. And it's like, not nearly as bad as a lot of people. I don't want to pretend that I had a harder time than a lot of people who had it much worse than I did. But at the same time, it's like, these shouldn't, like, I get that level of empathy now. Where I didn't get it when I was younger, and I didn't think anything of it. As someone who's Ace, growing up in a culture where any kind of relationship, like outside of marriage, is really kind of stigmatized, for me, I just thought I was the perfect example of what it meant to be good. And kind of got a chip on my shoulder for it for a while until other things happened. And I don't want to get... It's my private life. My private life's my private life. But it was just one of those things, like, the transitioning and realizing that I was a little different and that I needed to do, like, finding that out for myself and what that meant. Anyway. Weird, vague tangents about it, but we're gonna do extra point and stuff. But yeah. Potion. Smack the fire boy. Potion. He's down. We got an archer up here. We've used up all of our potions. We need healing ASAP. Heal. Oh, I'm so glad this is working. Maybe things would have been much easier. Exactly. And that's kind of like what I like. Part of the reason why it's like, I think particularly the trans community has it roughest. Like, that's just a personal opinion. Like, if I look at all of them, I really do. Because especially like even in modern society, like nowadays, it is bad taste. It still happens, but it's at the very least bad taste to openly discriminate against LGBT people. But in a lot of situations, even with what people consider just jokes, trans people still get a lot more than I think other groups of the LGBT kind of Q spectrum. And I'm not just saying that anyone's problems are stronger than others, but it's kind of one of the last few groups that people can pick on openly and don't get as stigmatized as they should. Trans women of color especially, exactly. And then there's other times where people just don't handle things well. And people look the other way because it's just the trans community that they offended. How bad could that be, Cyberpunk 2077? Anyway. I really kind of wanted to play that game, and I just kind of looked into all of it, and I'm like, I really can't now. Like, they just didn't want to say anything. And then you get certain famous people, like a certain JK of Rowling. And it's just like, you don't have to be this way. Yet you are. And I remember growing up and thinking that JK Rowling was, like, the most wonderful liberal icon. You know, like the loving and accepting purpose. And no. I don't say this about many people, but with Rowling's current perspectives, she can go to hell. And the fact that she's doubled down on those, and then people who've kind of backed her up on these, like, you don't get a pick on a marginalized community just because you disagree with them. Especially from a position of power. You don't ever get to justify punching down. And then other people I looked up backed her up, like John Clement, I think is the one I'm thinking of. One of the Monty Python founders. And I'm like, there's another famous person I have to get mad at. Because heaven forbid people are just loving and accepting. Oh, that's so bad. This fight's gonna be a rough one. FYI, I'm way under this one. Maybe not. Maybe we'll be able to pull this off. Anyway. I just don't get how people justify it. I really don't. Like, the way that they justify it is ignorance. It's by sticking your fingers in your ears and ignoring everything in front of you. But still. I assume that's what I kind of got the feeling of with, like, J.K. Rowling. I'm like, this is... I think in general, the UK struggles with transphobia a little bit even more than America does. And I'm going to say I don't think this is because America is better at it. What I think it is because in America you still don't talk about it. So we aren't even really to the point of beginning to address those issues. But in England, they've kind of moved past it a little bit and don't realize that they're issues. Because they're like, I'm a feminist, and feminist is good, because it is good. Feminism is a good thing, but not trans-exclusionary feminism. It's not the kind of thing that we need. Yeah, and also Cyberpunk, it's... I love the Cyberpunk genre, but if we're going to get Cyberpunk in here, you gotta get me some, like, super deep commentary about the flaws of late-stage capitalism that come with the cyberpunk genre. Like, that's what makes that genre a staple. And if you aren't going to be critiquing that heavily, you kind of miss the point of the genre, I think. Do I know of Jane Elliott? The name is familiar. And my mind just wants to... It's telling me someone who recently came out as trans, but I could be wrong. Nope. Okay. Wasn't there an Elliot that just came out as trans? I'm trying to remember. 1 second. Elliot Page. Is that? Yep, Elliot Page. Thank you. Oh. Which fully support them. I always feel bad for any famous person that comes out. It's especially hard, especially when people know your dead name. And like you are a well-known person and people really know your dead name. Because then on top of the accidental usage of your dead name, because people are used to it, because that's where your fame came from, you also have the people who specifically target you, because whether or not you want to be, you have just painted a giant public figure target on yourself. Okay. She does a social experiment on racism. It's called the Blue Brown Eye Experiment. The only time I'm aware it failed was in the UK. England's got a lot of bottled up stuff. It's got some of the best and some of the worst. I'll have to give it a look.
You found it. I'm gonna put this back where it belongs. I'll never forget this.
See, the difference between America and England when it comes to our bad opinions is in England, you stick it in a jar on the back counter and forget about it. It's hidden. You don't talk about it. You don't address it. You don't look at it. In America, we just wear it out on our sleeves, with the exception of a lot of people who do fake wokeness. Because basically, in my opinion, if you can sit there and say that you are not racist and not homophobic, and that you are perfectly woke and the ultimate epitome of social good, you're lying. You know that you're going to have shortcomings. The best thing to do is to know that you're going to have shortcomings and try to become the best that you can. Oh, yeah, they do. They most certainly do. And even other kinds of, like, I have some English family. My nana and granddad are from England. Islamophobia is really bad out there, too. And I don't want to say they're better or worse than America, but it needs to be addressed. I think one of the better European countries when it comes to dealing with this stuff nowadays is...
Hey, friend. It's good to see another
and I'm saying this from a position of not living there, because I am very well aware they probably have all of their own issues that they need to deal with. But one of the ones I've been most impressed with when I've read about them and kind of studied a little bit was Germany. And I think that's because Germany, more than most European countries, understands the dangers of what just a little bit racist can lead to, and just a little bit this can lead to. And I could be wrong. They could be just as bad as any other country. But from what I've read, they seem to be a little bit better when it comes to those. All the notifications. Why do I have all the notifications? Oh. My phone's just letting me... You Discorded me a couple things, it looks like. But, it also is letting me know that my alarms to wake off are going to be going off soon. So thanks, phone. I'm aware. But yeah. I'd always get frustrated in Utah when it came to Islamophobia. Because it was definitely there. I definitely probably experienced it more than other kinds. Okay, that's Islamophobia and homophobia and transphobia were probably the most common ones that I regularly found. 1 point of health in Utah. And it's kind of, it's a weird, Utah's a weird mixed bag. Because on the one hand, there was a lot of people in Utah who were pretty homophobic. But on the other hand, there was, like, Utah, I think, is second in the nation when it comes to LGBT protections. It's got this weird duality mixed bag thing going on. Like, Salt Lake City is one of the most LGBT-friendly states in America. It's a weird mixed bag. And it's basically because everyone who is a little bit more liberal or LGBT moves to Salt Lake. So it kind of like takes the entirety of what you'd get through the state and concentrates it there. Anyway. Oh, wait. I'm putting my sword away. Why do you always do this, you... This is why I hate fighting the giant in here. Oh, Skyrim just crashed. Well, that's fun. Goodbye, Skyrim. I'm not even running any mods. It's a bit weird for it to crash. Can you still hear me? Yeah, okay. We're working on launching it back again. We got a nifty little... I don't think it's aware that it's fully crashed. So I'm trying to get Steam to realize it. There it goes. So we can relaunch it. We should be able to launch right back in. I probably needed to reload anyway, so it actually couldn't have crashed at a better time. No. But the Islamophobia was the one that particularly would annoy me in Utah, because it was... And I'm also going to clarify this. Not the whole state. I'm not throwing a whole state under the bus. There is a absolute lot of good people in Utah, and a lot of very caring and very loving people in Utah. I'm not throwing the whole state under the bus. What I am saying is what annoyed me about the people who were Islamophobic, which I would actually probably argue was in the minority of people, is that the problem when talking about something like this is, like, it doesn't matter how few people were that way, because one is too many, in my opinion. Anyway, but the worst part is like when you look at the most predominant religion in Utah, which is LDS, and you looked at Islam. Oh, this is a bit of a throwback here. They have a whole lot of similarities in terms of core beliefs and practices, like neither of them drinking alcohol. Is a really good one, and like it would baffle me because it was like out of anyone that should understand this, like, you are closer to them than most other Christian religions in terms of a lot of core beliefs and practices. And not like everything, there's a lot of differences, but there was a lot more similar there. And I'm like, I think you should understand this. And the other thing as well was, yeah, people think they're being woke in the South, but it's doing more harm than good. It's not fair to throw any state fully under the bus, though. Like, except maybe Florida, but I love Florida for the chaos. I'm also joking when I say Florida. But I was like, if anyone should get this, and then the other thing that would always baffle me is, like, if any particular group of people should understand the dangers of religious persecution, is the state that is founded by people who fled New York because of religious persecution, and then fled Illinois because of religious persecution, who then had the U.S. military sent after them not once but 3 times because of religious persecution. It's like, if any group of people should understand why Islamophobia is bad, it's the LDS community. And the worst people I knew were LDS. The best people I knew were also LDS. It's just the predominant group of people in Utah. And I don't even know how much it is then, but growing up, it was the predominant group of people there that I dealt with. And it was just like LDS, Mormons, Latter-day Saints, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, LDS, Mormons, probably the most common names for them. LDS. Yeah, sorry, I talk a little weird sometimes. But it's like it's like the whole state is founded because of religious persecution. If anyone understands why Islamophobia would be bad, it should be them. But, and again, I think a good significant portion, probably the majority of them, get it to an extent, especially nowadays. But it was just like at the time period when I'd meet these people that were like devotedly LDS. And it's just like, you're kind of missing one of, like, this core thing that I think you should catch on. But...
Run off.
It's right there.
Handle yourself well. You could make for a decent shield, brother.
So, well, I also, it doesn't help that I mutter a little bit, so I say certain sounds very close.
Warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough. Not for me to... The old man.
We'll get the quest to go talk to them, and then we can go take back off into city. So yeah. I've gotten very rambly this stream. Oh. Antelope Island is the one in Salt Lake. It's the Khajiit friends. I forgot what my character looked like for a second. Yeah, that's nice. I still like him.
The roads have... Take a look.
Okay, let's see what we can sell. Oh, but we're gonna go get a bound sword. So we'll sell that. We will disenchant that. That, and ooh, probably that one. Sell these. Sell all the things. Goodbye, Rasad. I'm going for 2 hours. Probably going to go for at least 4 hours, I'm thinking. We'll see. We'll see today. The migraine has still not subsided, so we will still be streaming. I need to drink a little more water. I think my migraine is partially related to dehydration, but I'm not entirely sure.
Official business only. Riverwood's in danger too. You better go on in. You'll find the Jarl in Dragon's Reach at the top of the hill.
Or that's... I just drank, but I will gladly drink again. We're probably going to begin the day with a cup of tea as well.
But we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
Something not caffeinated, as long as my migraine subsided. Do I even have any tea that's caffeinated anymore? I might have gone through all my caffeinated teas.
Besides, Greymane would never.
Nope, we got Earl Grey still. We're good.
Have it your way. I'll take the job.
I'm almost out. We got mint. We got Rooibos. Rooibos is a wonderful herbal tea if you want something that's tea-like and a bit vanilla-y. I have lots of mango passion fruit tea. This tea's all pretty old too. I got Bird and Blend Tea Co. is one of my favorite tea companies. I'm gonna give them a little bit of a shout out. They make my favorite chai tea, which is actually an herbal chai. But this one is a chamomile tea, which is the exact opposite of what I need when I want caffeinated tea. And I have like one peach. Talking about my tea stash, and then I got a whole entire thing of bird and blend gingerbread. It's called gingerbread chai. It's lovely. You found them? Post them in the Discord. Also, thank you for posting lots of stuff in my Discord. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we get some more people in there someday. But I appreciate the company. Bum, bum, bum. Ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Music in this is so good. I like the sound effects of wood. That was one of the things I always wanted to do that I didn't. Your favorite tea store closed? Oh, is it closed permanently or is it just closed temporarily? We're gonna take a quick look at this. Oh, and you share those Jane Elliott things with me. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll have to give them a watch. Ah, they're beautiful. Beautiful spiders. You don't know, so the location you're used close, we don't have to have other locations near me. What I will shout out again, I've always been impressed. I've only gotten them like once. I think I've only gotten them once, but their tea and their reputation very much lived up to it. But Bird and Blend Tea Co. They made very wonderful gingerbread chai. Ooh, got more pictures. It's a gif of a spider friend. Y'all can check out my Discord if you want. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. But just pictures of golden orb weavers. They're shared in my Discord. Anyone who's watching the VOD later. You can, even in my chat when I'm offline, just type Discord or !Discord. It will pull it up in the chat even if I'm offline. There's also just a link on my About page. Plug my Discord there. I have news from Helgen about the dragon attack.
Explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
Yay, Jarl friend.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes?
Gotta think about how this character's gonna respond. We've kind of finally hit the area where like I actually have dialogue choice a little bit. Can kind of spice my character's personality up a bit. I'm thinking my headcanon for this character is a kind of morally gray conjurer. Like, ultimately is probably going to do the right thing to help people out, but also might do things just because it gets them a lot of coin. Or maybe they're just a murderer too. We're gonna find out because the Dark Brotherhood quests are fun. So naturally, almost all of my characters become murderers. I have a hard time playing an evil character with headcanon. Like, I do, but the headcanon like falls apart when I'm evil. And they just become generic bad guy 303 or whatever.
By Ismir,
Do that way.
was right. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord,
I love playing with the audio because my headset's stereo.
We should be taking the fight to the Stormcloaks.
So I can kind of turn and his voice will move from one headset to the other, and it's my favorite.
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and
I had
slaughters
shivers
my
and it made my
people.
camera go crazy.
Irileth, send a detachment to
It's
Riverwood
a dragon
at once.
skull.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me,
It reminds
I'll
me
return
of
to
like
my
the open
duties.
dog mouth, the happy dog
That would be
meme,
best.
like the
Well
joke dog
done.
where he's like,
You sought me
The
out
dragon
on
reminds
your
me
own
of.
initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small... There. Come, let's go find Farengar.
hello, let's go find Farengar. Have I leveled up yet? Oh, I put him in sneak, that's right. Okay. Yeah, we're not using that, so we will do that. We will do this, because we're not going to use it. Ah, the sneaking's good, but the magic is good.
Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
We're going to grab the magical one, just because we already have a necklace that increases it, and as much as I'm sad to see it go, it's really good to have. Anyway.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there.
Yeah,
no
we're a
mere
thinker.
brute mercenary, but a thinker. Perhaps even a scholar? You see, when the stories of dragons began to circulate, many dismissed them as mere fantasies, rumors, impossibilities. One sure mark of a fool, but I began to search for
Okay, so what do you need me to do?
Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet.
And it's the magic dragon stone that we already grabbed.
Barrow. You already found it. That is where your job ends and mine begins. The work of the mind, sadly undervalued in Skyrim.
The work of the mind is undervalued almost everywhere, Farengar.
Farengar.
I wonder what Irileth is so excited about.
No, he's not going to buy things from him for a little bit. We'll do a little bit of typer walking.
You should come too.
This is the perfect game to like.
Where was it seen? What was it doing?
Like, if you've ever seen the jokes about like there being this like epic story going on, and then like the NPCs like just stealing everything in sight, running along tables, standing in fires. This is the game that basically is perfect for that. Because it very rarely ever locks you into dialogue. So Q, big important conversation, and I can dance on this
Tell me
table.
what you told me about the dragon.
Oh, that's right. We saw it coming from the south. It's false.
It's better when you're a Khajiit, because then you're like, I'm the perfect cat, must stand on table.
No, my lord. It was circling overhead when I left. I never ran so fast in my life. I thought it would have come after me for sure.
Good work, son. We'll take it from here. Head down to the barracks for some food and rest. Fern. Irileth.
Perfect.
Better gather some guardsmen and get down there.
I've already ordered my men to muster near the main gate.
Good.
Oh,
Don't
that was a quick
fail.
save. I want to hit this button. Yes. I am bookshelf man.
There's no time to stand on ceremony, my friend. I need your help again. I want you to go with Irileth and help her fight this dragon. You survived Helgen, so you have more experience with dragons than anyone else here. But I haven't forgotten the service you did for me in retrieving the dragon stone for Farengar.
There's the yawns I needed
As
like
a
2
token
hours
of my
ago.
esteem, I have instructed Avenici that you are now permitted to purchase property in the city. And please, accept this gift from my personal armory.
I should come along. I would very much like to see this dragon.
I'm not a man.
No.
I'm a weapon in human form. Just unsheath me and point me at the enemy.
Defend the city against
Thank you,
these
Hrongar.
dragons.
Here,
As you command.
you can have
One
this
last
My
pot.
brother takes counsel from Proventus Avenici. What a laugh.
He takes counsel from his daughter, and she's a bloody blacksmith.
Don't worry, my lord. I'm
Be
the very
careful.
soul of caution.
Stand still.
All this standing
You are a
around is
weapon,
rubbish.
and I need to
We
sheath
should
you.
be taking the fight to the Stormcloaks. Need something?
Yes.
Need something?
Yes, I need this to go on your head.
Yes.
Maybe. What? You teleported. That's cheating.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm. You cheated.
Need something?
I need this to go on. Your... He's cheating, Moth. He's cheating me. Here, we'll put this back. Or not. I think I just yeeted it down the stairs. It's gone. It's not worth hauling back up the stairs. It can go on... Oh, here, actually. See if I can do a little bit of interior decorating here.
I've seen you helping the Yard. If only all visitors to Whiterun were as noble.
Creative art choice. The pot now goes upside down.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss. Take a look.
This is what I needed. Okay. First off, do I have anything that you can... Oh, actually, I got
You know,
Boots
it
of Frost
seems
to...
this
Nope, I
damnable
need to borrow this
conflict-
table. Thank you. There we go. Oh, and we leveled up. Perfect. Let me see. Did Magicka, Health, Magicka, or do Health again? And then we're going to do Apprentice level Conjurations for half Magicka. And then there's Farengar.
There's a
Hello?
tranquility in spells and incantations for those with the talent to guess.
I have a decent amount of money, actually. That was unexpected. But we want Bound Sword. We have Conjure Familiar. We want Conjure Flame Atronach, because that's technically better. Oh, fast healing could be good. I want Muffle. Do I have Raise Zombie? I don't think I do. I have Reanimate. I probably should grab Reanimate Corpse. Okay. We're not going to worry about that right now, because we're going to get plenty of those with later things. Reanimate a more powerful dead body to fight for you for 60 seconds. That could be really useful. But I don't think we're going to go with Necromancy, so I'm not going to waste my money on him right now. Potentially Fast Healing. Did I grab Fast Healing? I didn't. Does that leave me enough to do anything? No. We're stuck cringing at 6-year-old photos. No, you're good. You're good. You just missed me dink around on bookshelves for a bit. Lesser wards, not useful. Any of these... I don't think any of these are really useful at the moment.
Remember, your mind is the best weapon you have.
Oh,
I envy
Winterhold
you the
quest line.
chance to see this dragon up close. A prospective student, are you? Well,
There we
I'm
go.
afraid I'm not
That's
much
what I
good
want.
at teaching. You should
We'll
try
probably
your
start
luck
doing the
with
College of Winterhold quests on this character pretty soon. And we're gonna go find some foot wraps in a second. But until then, let's read some spell books. Okay. Now coming here, we want to favorite Muffle, because we are going to be doing some sneaking on this character. But we want this. We want that favorited, and we want this favorited. And we're probably going to be using... Sadly, we're going to kind of be moving on from our wolf friend, just because... Well, the fire's better. Time is weird. Time is incredibly weird. Okay, that's good. We got healing, we got muffle. We'll get some more potions of minor healing in a second, but now we should be able to do that. And then have our Conjure Chameleon still on the offhand. Perfect. That's what we were looking to do.
Your children, your very lives.
The Guardian Dragon Swift invaded the yard. Come off a white
This is the kind of guy who'd be telling everyone not to wear masks.
Mister, could you spare a coin?
Oh yes, the poor girl.
So... Oh, thank you. Divines, bless your kind heart.
Of course we're gonna give her a coin.
I work with my mother.
Time is always a strange thing.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Everything's for sale. Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
Don't need that anymore. Never really needed that. Everything else we should be holding on to. You're not gonna have any new books, but we are going to want to purchase those. Same time 6 years ago was so long ago, but it doesn't feel like it was too long. I get that. I get that. Like, you're looking back and you're like, this really wasn't that long ago, but at the same time, you like feel yourself aging. If you've had that. Like, I say this game's been out for I think like 10 years now. And I remember when it was like the newest, hottest game on the market still, like it was yesterday.
What a forearm.
I work for Bella at the General Look. You already have been told you're not allowed here. Turn around and go back.
Got some good pieces out. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your
I
needs.
just need a pair of boots that aren't armored. Am I gonna have to go all the way up to Solitude
Don't forget to check
just to
inside.
find a pair
I
of
don't care what
boots?
you're doing. After what happened, you're lucky I don't toss you in jail.
Potentially, it feels like. You were at Antelope Island 6 years ago. I probably went to Antelope Island about 6 years ago myself, to be honest. We used to keep brine shrimp from the Great Salt Lake alive. Kind of on and off. We did it quite a bit.
The longer. Take a look. May your road lead you to warm sands. Duels, wares, and wins.
And boop, boop, up we go. Jump, jump, jumps. Here we go. Let's see, if we've done this right, they should have had plenty of time. Yes, they did. I was curious if they would get
signs
here
of
or
any
not.
Dragon right now, but it sure looks like he's been here. I know it looks bad. We've got to figure out what happened, and if that dragon is still skulking around somewhere. Spread out. Look for survivors. We need to know what.
And into the tower we go. Oh, up the stairs. Hello.
No, get back. It's still here somewhere. Corky and Todd just got grabbed when they tried to make a run for it.
We're gonna get Flamey Boy up. Probably Flamey they.
Here it comes again.
Here it comes. Find
I always feel bad. My mind defaults to masculine genders for neutral. And it's not intentional, but I'm aware that it happens. And there's so many times I accidentally do it. I'm like, I shouldn't do that. I gotta watch that. And like, sure enough, I'm talking to someone, my mind does it again. And I'm like, no, mind, you know better than this. In here, sword. Get another one of these up to shoot some fire at it. There we go. Oh my goodness. Either it's eaten me or I've gotten it, and I'm not quite sure. Oh, I got it. It's like a bad camera angle for the kill. But that's fine, because we got these, which will reline our pockets and allow us to get some more healing potions, because we're going through those pretty quick. Let's get a fast healing up. Yep, already looted up. 6 years ago is when I got married. I just realized that. (2014). Good times. I don't know if I've mentioned I know I've mentioned this on stream before, but I don't know if I mentioned it to you. But I got married right out of high school. As in, I graduated in May and got married in August. I was engaged to my wife in February while still in high school. And I'd known her since 7th grade. Fun facts. Thank you.
Yes. Take a look.
You probably don't have enough for this. You have enough for this. I said it like so casually. I'm like, yeah, by the way. We do want a potion of cure disease. At least for the time being. Yeah. I don't recommend that anyone gets married as young as I did. But I do not regret it in the least. It certainly made things trickier. But
May your road lead you to
I don't, it's hard to say. I don't think I would do things differently, but it wasn't necessarily the easy path I chose to walk with that. Because me and my wife had to learn to be adults together. And it's one thing, my wife was much more mature than me when we got married too. But there's that very strong, like, it's hard enough to learn how to be a couple, like a married couple, when you're both, particularly me at the time, was still learning how to be an adult even. And then not too long later, learning how to be a parent. Which is a whole adventure. Which I wouldn't trade for the world. Out of all of the things that I am, a dad is my favorite. Especially a dad that can raise my kids understanding that toxic masculinity is bad. And that they can like whatever they want to like. My son's favorite color is pink, and I'm very proud of him for that.
Give a holler if you have any questions.
He loves unicorns and dinosaurs and dragons and My Little Pony and True and cars and everything. And that's perfectly acceptable.
You look rather pale. Could be ataxia. It's quite a problem
I
back
probably
home
need
in
to probably got
Cyrodiil.
sick. He
Pardon
can like
me,
whatever he
but
wants,
do I
and that's fine.
Ah, so you're
And
an
as he continues
alchemist,
to grow
then.
and learn more about himself, whatever that means is fine. It's not a hard thing. I can sell these here. Good, I wasn't sure if I could.
Come back anytime if you need a remedy.
It's not my job to determine how my son grows up. Like, what he grows up to be. What is my job is making sure that they are loved, and that they are supported, and that whatever decisions that they make, that they have me to be there as a parent for them. That's what matters. And that's the one thing I'm striving to do. In my opinion, and like, no parent is perfect. This is not shaming any parent, and I know that I will miss the mark on this many, many times. But the thing that I think any parent should strive for is that above all else, your kid knows that they can come to you to be loved and supported. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what they choose to do, whether you agree with it and disagree with it, it doesn't matter. Your kid needs to be able to come to you and feel first and foremost loved. And if they can't do that, that means that there's definitely opportunity for you to be a better parent, because that could be the one thing that your kid knows.
The Jarl's been waiting for you.
That's the one thing I want my kid to know.
Watchtower? Was the dragon there? I knew I could count on Irileth, but there must be more to it than that.
And I don't want to say, like, parenting is hard as hell, and anyone who tells you they know how to parent is lying. You gotta learn with it the best you can, and hopefully at the end of it, you've created an adult that you haven't broken for the rest of their lives. But
so it's true. Greybeard,
yeah.
Masters of the way of the voice. They live in seclusion. You heard the summons. What else could it mean?
Talk about all the things. How much money do I have? You don't have any robes for me.
That
That's
was
okay.
the voice of the Greybeards, summoning you to High Hrothgar. This hasn't happened in centuries, at least. Not since Tiber Septim himself was summoned when he was still Talos.
We might be wrapping up a little bit sooner than expected. I'm starting to crash, which is a good thing. It means I can take a morning nap. But my migraine's not getting better, so I don't know.
I don't see any signs of him being this, what, dragonborn?
No nonsense. Why, you puffed up ignorant. These are our sacred traditions that go back to the founding of the First Empire.
Rongar,
Can I talk to you?
you've
Yep.
done a great service for me. By my right, I assign you Lydia as a personal house.
for the axe.
I'll also note we are honored to have you as Bane of our
How much does it cost? It was 5,000. I cannot afford that house yet. Do I have any other random crap I can like do to make lots of money? I should have been like grabbing all the alchemical ingredients to sell, but I wasn't
It seems
thinking
this
that far
damnable
ahead.
conflict has claimed everyone's passions of late. Well, if you can shout, you need to go see the Greybeards.
Okay,
They'll know.
that's fair.
I had you figured for a mage. I think you'll appreciate this.
Yeah, you don't have conjuration robes. I need
You know, if you've got
conjuration
the
robes.
aptitude, you should join the mages college.
Okay. I think we're going to go veer off course from the main quest line now. Because I want to do the Mages College and get more powerful. So... Boop.
It takes...
There we go.
You have to be patient.
The Jarl has appointed me to be your house. The Jarl has the title of Thane is an honor.
And we're not going to have Lydia follow us. I probably could honestly use the help, but I just have a feeling that Lydia's going to get herself killed a lot. And I don't want Lydia to get themselves killed. I want to find, if we can find a good essential companion, we'll do that one. Anyway, I do think we are going to wrap up here for the stream today. I'm getting kind of very crashy all of a sudden. I do want to thank everyone. Yeah, we'll just wrap up here. We'll do a quick, good little save. We'll see what we do tomorrow. I probably plan to stream, today. Like later today. I'll probably do another stream tonight. Maybe a midday one. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I want to just thank all of you for joining me. I had a really good time here. Particularly Moth. It's basically just been you, Moth. But thank you for joining me. I always appreciate it. I expected it to be a slower stream. And I like how I quit and it crashes. Like right as I'm quitting. Thank you. I didn't click, by the way. That's why I said it crashed. It does that sometimes. Oh, yes. I will get one last good hydrate. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Let's see if there's anyone else still on. We can do a little bit of a raid for them. If I have someone to send you to. Still, I don't know why, but the finger makes me laugh. I don't think there's probably going to be anyone on at this hour. Oh, Noctis is still up. We'll go raid Noctis. Looks like he's doing Twitch's Sings. Maybe that'll be a good thing for both of us. Me to take a... The sun's up. The sun's up here now, but like a morning nap. Anyway, we're going to go raid Noctis. Noctis is a fantastic streamer. One of the main reasons why I'm streaming. But again, I think it's just you in the chat. Yeah, 3 viewers. Probably, maybe we got a quiet little lurker. We'll see. But yeah, I just want to thank everyone for joining me on the stream. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the night and or morning, whichever it is for you. Let's hope that this year takes off to a wonderful brand new year. And just to end on an even better little high note, we have 69 followers as of right now. I just have to say nice, because I just noticed that and it made me chuckle a little bit. Anyway, good night / morning, y'all. I love all of you. Let's go give Noctis some love. Bye.